Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and I'm back for another Life is Strange video. I do apologize for the long wait. It has been a while since I've uploaded Life is Strange on the channel. But, if you guys are aware, we are less than almost a week away until the release of the Life is Strange Remastered Collection, which is a remaster of Life is Strange 1 and Life is Strange Before the Storm, which we'll be playing a full walkthrough of both games remastered on the channel when the game releases on February 1st. So to celebrate, I don't know if I'll be doing another video after this, but we are going to be doing our long-awaited tier list video on Life is Strange. I do apologize, this was supposed to be out such a long time ago, but I kind of waited until after True Colors came out, and then things came up, and obviously, I decided now is the right time to do it, right before the release of the remaster collection, and before we get any more inevitable Life is Strange games down the line. So, before we get started, I want to explain everything. I've done a tier list before on The Walking Dead and Last of Us. If you want to check those out, I'll link them down below in the description or in the card on the top right. How am I going to rate this criteria? We've got S, which is the top, best characters. A, pretty good / really good characters. B, good / decent. C, average. D, below average. And E, the worst. How I'm going to rate these characters, I'm throwing in two criteria. One, my personal opinion. What I think of the characters and how I've interacted and what I know about them. And two is going to be how they were written. I'm going to be combining both together, and we'll see what my final rating is. Now again, please, this is my opinion. You can criticize my opinion, that's okay, but please do not just actively hate because I put your favorite character in a spot you don't like. I would like, you can respect my opinion, that'd be fine. Obviously, I think everybody here has different opinions on different characters, but, I play the game a certain way, you play the game a certain way. We both can come to a compromise on that. So, if you guys do enjoy this video, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you do enjoy. Follow my social media down below to stay connected with us. And let's get straight into it. But first, a word from our sponsor. Not for Broadcast is a game I was just introduced to, and I just played the first episode, and man, what a game. You guys know a lot of what I cover on this channel is very similar to this. There's a lot of story, choice-based kind of stuff with this, which I think you guys will enjoy. Now, if you guys are wondering, where can you pick this up? This game is going to be on Steam on January the 25th. And in the description down below, there's a link where you guys can check out the game for yourselves. The one major thing I love about this game is that you're in control of the broadcast. And based on your decisions, how fast you do certain things or how well you do them, you can affect the game. As I played more and more of Chapter 1, I finally realized how much fun this game really could be. You see, I'm in control of the broadcast there. I'm smiling. I learned you could use a censor button to censor out words, they say, switch between the camera feeds on the left there. Control the frequency, and there's not even stuff that I've encountered yet that's still in this game. It's very expansive. And plus there's text-based quests on it, so it's not just what you're seeing on screen. It's a lot more. Also, you may want to check the description. There may be some codes for this game. Wink, wink. I highly recommend you guys check this out if you're interested in any of the games I cover on this channel. This will be the perfect game for you. Alright, so this is the Life is Strange Characters Tier List Maker. This is included all the games. There are a couple missing, and I'll go through them at the end of the video. A couple characters that this person didn't list here, but pretty much this is every major / minor character. Again, there might be some that aren't on this list, but I've pretty much gotten pretty much every character with this list. Because I was looking everywhere for a list to find, and this is the best one in my opinion. So, give a shout out to the person that made this, Mossy XOXO. Thank you for making this tier list. So, here are all the characters, and we're going to start from top left to lower bottom right, and that's how we're going to do it. Not going to go in any specific order, in terms of, let's just do the Life is Strange ones first. Now, we're just going to do this from left to right. So, let's get started. So, our first character is the protagonist of Life is Strange True Colors, Alex Chen. Of course, we have to start off with a harder choice here. Now, Alex Chen, a character that I definitely liked from the beginning. Her character, her journey, the emotional impact she had, and especially, the endings and everything. Erica Mori killed it out of the park, in my opinion, with her acting in this game. And I'm hopeful that maybe we'll see Alex Chen again in another Life is Strange game. But for a new protagonist, Erica really did it. She really, solidified her place, in my opinion, as one of the best characters in Life is Strange. Not just in True Colors, but the entire series. So, I'm going to put her at S to begin. Next, we've got Alyssa from Life is Strange 1. Now, there's not much content with her character, but we know, she's the one that has a lot of bad, unfortunate things happen to her, and Max has the option to save her or not. Now, determinately, she can also die, if you didn't know, at the end of episode 5, depending on your choices and things. And I've always made a concerted effort when I play Life is Strange 1 to save Alyssa in any circumstance I get. She's always been nice to Max, which I can really respect out of her character. So I am going to put her at the B tier. So she's a good character, without a doubt. So, next I have Anton. A very minor character that shows up, if you remember, at Life is Strange 2, Episode 4. He's the truck driver that helps Sean on the way to Haven. And, again, it's an optional thing if you even run into him, because either you can go into his truck and talk to him for a little bit, or you can just keep walking on the road and he'll just drive away. I, of course, was panicked by this decision and didn't go with him, and I regret it. But, man, he gave me a sandwich, he had a good talk to me, and was always there. Really nice dude. So I'm going to put him at the B tier as well. Next, we have Arthur Peterson. Now, if you don't know who this is, Life is Strange 2 Episode 5, in Karen's little community group right outside in Arizona and stuff. He's basically one of the guys making coffee. Remember, he's with also Stanley. Again, based on my impressions on them, they were very nice characters. Not much to their characters. Wasn't much time we were able to spend with them, but they were a nice little couple. So I'm going to put him also in the B tier as well. Next, we have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Brody. Only popped up in Life is Strange 2 Episode 1, but we also could see, emails and letters he had written throughout Life is Strange 2. And every interaction, every email, every note that I written, that I read of Brody's was phenomenal, in my personal opinion. And I think he is worthy of being near the top. He's one of my favorite side characters, I think, in a Life is Strange game. Even though, man, it would have been so nice to have him appear again in Life is Strange 2. But hey, Life is Strange 2 was a journey about going on from place to place, and Brody sadly couldn't pop up in one of those places. So I'm going to put Brody at the A tier. Next we have Brooke from Life is Strange 1 and Life is Strange Before the Storm. So she is basically the drone girl, if you remember her. Not many interactions we get to have with her throughout it, but, at least in my experience, every interaction we've had with her was pretty positive. Again, I don't really remember much about, what she really brought to the table. Wasn't that much. Again, she's one of those minor characters that wasn't referenced much in both games, but, I enjoyed. She could be a little rude, though, if you didn't know your stuff about, the questions she'd ask. So, I'm going to put her at C. Alright, next we have Carla Morales from Life is Strange 2, Episode 5. She is one of the prisoners in the detention center after Daniel gets shot and Sean and Daniel get taken by the border police. Again, not much we could really say about her. She seemed really nice. They were going to have a child. They were moving in, and we can obviously let them escape and stuff. So, under the circumstances, not much I really know about them, so I'm just going to put them in C for average. Next, we have Cassidy, one of my favorite characters in the Life is Strange series. Her music, her personality, her attitude. She was, I think a character that stayed along very well. She's the one I romanced with Sean, and, just seeing her at the end of Episode 5 at the end credits was just, man, that was emotional. I definitely just love every bit of things, she brings to the game. And I'm going to put her, surprisingly, in the S tier. A lot of people might disagree with me, but I think she's one of the best characters in the series in general. Next, we have Chad, who is the... Do I even need to say? Alright, next we have Charles Erickson from Life is Strange 2 and Captain Spirit. If you don't know who this is Chris's father. And again, he has some issues throughout the game. He seems like he's trying to mean well, but he's gone through a lot of personal loss with their mom. You know, his wife dying in a car accident and stuff. I felt really bad for him, and, you know, he did some questionable stuff, you know, child abuse almost, I felt like, and I wasn't really on board with everything, you know. He's trying his best, which I can understand in that position, but, you know, I feel bad for him in a way, but I'm gonna put him in the C tier. Alright, next we have Charlotte from Life is Strange True Colors, the mother of Ethan. And, you know, she had, at least in my walkthrough, my first walkthrough, her character depth was definitely there. I think she brought a lot to the table in terms of her emotion, especially that episode 3 scene where, you know, Alex is trying to read her emotions, and, you know, Alex can either take her emotions or leave them be, and you can tell, you know, her acting there was superb in my personal opinion. So I'm going to put her at B. Next we have my favorite character in the probably entire series, Chloe Price. Now, a lot of people, I've seen a mixed opinion on Chloe. Some people think Chloe's good, some people think Chloe stinks. I personally just love Chloe, you know, just everything she brings, her attitude. She's not someone you want to mess with. And personally to me, she really, really stands out as a noteworthy character, one that I will remember, you know, especially I think I even liked her character more after playing Life is Strange Before the Storm, because I finally understood more about, you know, her past and how she became who she was in the first game. So she's going in the S tier as well. Next we have Chris Erickson, Captain Spirit, I can call him. He was a phenomenal character as well. Just unfortunately a character I wish that we could have gotten more content out of. You know, him and Daniel's relationship in Life is Strange 2 was one of the pillars of episode 2 for me, because episode 2 was a very episode to me. It wasn't the most exciting, thrilling episode, but their dynamic definitely made it better for me. And, you know, just seeing, you know, everything after Captain Spirit and how it related to the game was pretty cool. So I'm going to put him at A with my boy Brody. Next we have Claire from Life is Strange 2. We see her in episode 2 rules as well, and we also can see her determinately in the final episode depending on our choices. She definitely had some issues. I'm not gonna lie, she was very strict with those dang rules. But, you know, she meant well. She had a lot of, you know, I'd say, she felt really bad about what happened with Karen and everything. And I envy, you know, what she had to go through. Definitely wasn't easy losing a daughter, but yeah, being very stern with her. So I'm going to put her at B tier as well. Next we have Damon Merrick, who in my opinion, as a villain, wasn't really the best villain. He definitely was intimidating. He definitely showed a lot, but I don't think was the best well-written villain. When people look at who is the most intimidating Life is Strange villain, I don't think Damon Merrick's at the top. Some people may disagree with me, and that's okay. But, you know, probably the one scene that stood out the most for me with Damon Merrick, when he paid Drew a visit in Life is Strange Before the Storm. I believe that was episode 2. And basically, depending on your choices, he'll either beat the living hell out of Drew, or you basically can intervene and stuff happens to Mikey instead. Yeah, he could be a real conniving villain. I don't want to say he's at the top, but he's definitely up there. So I'm going to put him at D. Next we have Dana from Life is Strange 1. Now, I'm not going to lie with you guys, I don't remember much about Dana other than maybe the pregnancy test stuff. So what I basically try to say that I remember with Dana is that she wasn't a bad character, but at the same time, she could get a little angry and stuff. So I'm going to put her at C. Next we have Daniel Diaz from Life is Strange 2. A lot of people have mixed opinions about Daniel. Some people call him a brat. Some people call him a great character. I think he's a great character. His acting done by Roman was phenomenal. And his growth from, if you look at his growth from episode 1 to the finale, you see it. Not just in his voice, but his growth as a character. And, you know, I think Daniel definitely is one of my favorite characters as well. So I'm going to put him at A. Next we have David Madsen from Life is Strange Before the Storm, Life is Strange 1, and Life is Strange 2. Man, if there's a character that had a, you know, where I first thought, man, this guy's not a good character, to his evolution is one of the best in the series, in my opinion. How he redeems himself in the end of Life is Strange 1. You know, he talks about all the stuff he went through in Life is Strange 2. I think, man, definitely a character that, for me, went from probably someone I'd put in a D and an E, if we were only basing this on the first couple episodes of Life is Strange 1, to a B/A. And I'm putting him at B. Next we have Diane from Life is Strange True Colors. Yeah, this girl's a snake, and continually tried to be a snake. Man, I do not like Diane. D for Diane. Next we have Diego from Life is Strange 2. He is related to her, remember? And again, don't know much about him, so I'm gonna just put him right in the C. They can both be in C, because I mean they're both average characters. They're not really much known about them. Next we have the wife of Hank Stamper. I don't remember her name off the top of my head, but you know, she seems nice, but man, she could be a real, you know, especially if, I mean, I don't really like her that much. So I'm gonna put her at D as well. Next we have Drew from Life is Strange Before the Storm. You know, getting to learn more about Drew in True Colors as well from Mikey in the Wavelengths DLC. I definitely have new perspective on Drew as a character. And, you know, through all the stuff he went, he could be a real, you know, prick sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. But, you know, when push comes to shove, I definitely think he's a decent character. So I'm gonna put him at C. Next, we got my boy Ducky. One of the best characters in True Colors, man. Just the episode 4 scene with him and Alex dancing, and the fact that he stood up for me at the end of True Colors was just beautiful to watch, and just an overall enjoyable character to be around. He's going in the A tier. Kind of reminds me in terms of a side character like Brody, just phenomenal. Next we have Eleanor from Life is Strange True Colors. Her memory loss stuff felt really bad for her, and her acting was pretty superb, I think, in those scenes. Definitely caught my attention, and, you know, she stood up for me. One of the first people that stood up for me in chapter 5 as well of True Colors. So she's gonna go in B as well. Next we have the Stalker, known as Elliot. If we were rating him based on being a stalker and a creep, man, he'd be at the top. But we're rating him as a character, and oh, I did not like him. He just no. E. Next we have Esteban from Life is Strange 2. For the short time he was in the game, and also in the flashback, don't forget, in episode 4. Well done. Tremendous character. And man, I wish just Life is Strange 2 DLC with Esteban. Let's make it happen. Come on. That's okay. I'm going to put him at A. Next, we have Ethan from Life is Strange True Colors. Now, a character I think that wasn't that bad, but had his issues. Definitely did not have to go, you know, hang out at his rock place. Kind of unfortunately indirectly led to Gabe's death. And he could be a real, you know, he could be real annoying in episode 2 at times, you know, and also, but in episode 3, the LARP and, you know, making him happy and stuff, that was one of the best moments of True Colors for me. So, based on everything I know about Ethan and what I think, I'm going to put him at C. Alright, next we have Evan from Life is Strange Before the Storm and Life is Strange 1. I don't know much about him other than his photo collection stuff. Now, I'm going to probably put him at... let's see. Next we got Finn from Life is Strange 2. Another one of my favorite side characters. You know, his plan, I will admit, was stupid in Life is Strange 2. And especially if you don't get the romance side with him, I can understand why you'd put him probably pretty low on this list. You know, because of what he's, doing, kind of brainwashing Daniel and the whole stuff with that. But I had some good moments with him. So I'm going to put Finn at B. Next we have Frank from Life is Strange Before the Storm and Life is Strange 1. Him and Pompidou. He could be he could get really in your feelings and stuff and get very angry and stuff. But, he meant well. And, despite some stuff that I didn't like about his character with how he acted, I still think he's a better side character in the series. So I'm going to put him at B as well. Next, we got Gabe Chen. If I had to say a character that won me over just based on episode 5 alone, chapter 5, True Colors. Yes, Gabe's work in True Colors, chapter 5, really made him one of my favorite characters in the whole series as well. And he gets an A. What a well done final chapter that was, and how it Gabe's monologue at the end with Alex there was just top tier. Next we have Hank Stamper. Yeah, you knew that was coming. Next we have Hannah from Life is Strange 2. For her one specific scene where she almost got my stream taken down. She goes down a little bit, but she was just the average kind of character for me. I didn't really feel much towards her. At the same time, I didn't really hate her that much. So, C. Next, we have Jacob from Life is Strange 2. His episode 4 arc and story I got to learn about him in LIS 2, wow, phenomenal, in my personal opinion. Phenomenal. He's going to be put in the B tier. Next, we have Rachel Amber's father. Based on the merits of him as a human being, I would not be putting him that high. I guess, I don't know, I don't really feel much towards him, as a character. So I'm going to put him at D as well. I just did not like the lies he did to Rachel and stuff. Not really a fan of that. Next, we have Officer Pike from Life is Strange True Colors. Redemption arc for this man. The fact that he tried to force me to sign the affidavit, but then he came back. He came back and defended me in the end, which won a lot of my respect over. So I'm going to put him at the B tier as well. Next, we have Jed. In terms of being a villain, phenomenal character. Phenomenal character. I actually liked him a lot. Even though this backstabbing, and I can't relate to his personal, struggles that he went through with his wife and everything. And he made some very dumb decisions. And trying to kill Alex and stuff. No. But in terms of being a villain, definitely was more decent. So, a lot of you guys might say, oh, we're going to put him up on all these rings. I'm going to put him in C. Now, I know I'm going to put him with all these other characters, but I just think, in terms of being a villain, he's definitely up there. This is where I rate a character, not just on their actions, but, how they are as a character. Next, we've got Joan from Life is Strange 2, Episode 5. Now, with her, there was only, that one little art scene where Sean and Daniel could design their own little metal creature, in essence. I thought she was, I didn't really relate to her that much and didn't understand much of what she's saying, but I think she was still a good, decent, average character, so I would probably put her at C tier. My man Joey, from Life is Strange 2 is next. For the small amount of time he was in, the fact that he was even willing to, to back me up if worse came to worse. Loved him as a character. A. Now we have Mr. Chen from Life is Strange True Colors. I think based on what I think with him, I'm going to probably put him at C tier as well. Felt bad for how he died. Alright, so you see the video starting to go pretty up in time. So I'm going to start probably going through characters a lot faster. Probably won't be saying that much about them, but, you'll get to... If you have a question about a specific character that I rate here, just leave it down below in the comments, and maybe I'll answer your comments. So, next we have Meryl. In terms of being a villain, liked him a lot. In terms of being a character, was a real POS, I'm going to have to put him probably in the D tier. Next we have Joyce from Life is Strange Before the Storm and Life is Strange 1. She was a really good mother. That's one definitive thing I can say about her. I'm going to put her in the B tier. Next we have Juliet from Life is Strange 1. Not really much to reveal about this girl. I remember, though, she was a decent character at that. So, again, I'm just going to put her at C. Next, we have Karen Reynolds from Life is Strange 2. A character that, in my opinion, redeemed herself. And how she stood up for her children was pretty emotional to me. And that episode 4 ending scene, one of my favorite moments in the entire LIS2. She's getting a B rating. Next, we have Kate from Life is Strange 1. In terms of acting and as a character, I loved Kate. And I'm glad. Anytime I try to save Kate, I'm always going to try to do it. That's always what I'm going for. So she's going to get A tier. So, next we have Elizabeth from Life is Strange 2 Episode 4. I do not like this woman. E. Next we have Lila from Life is Strange 2. If there was any character, other than maybe Brody and Joey, who I wanted to see more content of, it's Lila. She was Sean's best friend, through and through. I 100% agree with that, and she was one of my faves. A. Still wish maybe her and Sean could have got together too, Next we have Mac from Life is Strange True Colors. This man really didn't have Gabe's back much. He did have a little redemptive arc, in my opinion, but I still wasn't a major fan of him as a character. So I'm going to put him at D. As written as a character, it's still not even that good. But, yeah, I'm going to put him at D. Some of the acting scenes were pretty good, though. But, yeah. Oh, this chick. Alright, not much left, guys. So we're going to go through this still pretty quick. So, next we have Agent Flores from Life is Strange 2. In my opinion, someone that tried to separate two brothers that were wrongfully convicted and didn't really give us much hope. I mean, I understand it's their job, but D. Mark Jefferson. Now, this one's going to be controversial, because either way, I could put him at the bottom, obviously, or I could put him a little higher, because as a villain, shocking. One of the most shocking revelations in a video game I've had. And he played basically both sides of the fence. Such a great teacher, but at the same time, he had his hidden past and his stuff that he did behind that I didn't even know about. So, I'm mixed about this one. So I think, in terms of being a villain, I'd probably put him at the A rating. But in terms of a character, I'd probably put him at the E. So I'm going to put him at D. I think D is a good spot. Next we have Max Caulfield from Life is Strange 1. My personal favorite playable protagonist right here, I would say, out of all the ones we've had. She's at the top for me. So she's getting put on the S tier as well. Next we have Miss Grant from Life is Strange 1 and Before the Storm. Such a nice woman. Really, really do enjoy her. She gets B. Next we have Mikey North from Life is Strange 1, Before the Storm, and True Colors. Actually, Mikey North from Before the Storm and True Colors. Love Mikey. I'm putting him at A. The reason I'm putting him at A is because of the stuff in the Wavelengths DLC. If you haven't played Wavelengths yet, go play Wavelengths. Next we have Nathan Prescott. In terms of a character, pretty good character in terms of how he, his arc was. But as a person, man, ugh. E. Yes, I'm putting him lower than Mark Jefferson. And the only reason I'm putting Mark Jefferson above him is because Mark Jefferson is my favorite villain in the series. Next we have is Penny from Life is Strange 2. What can I say about Penny? Average to me. C. Next we got Rachel Amber, one of my favorite side characters now. She had some iffy decisions in the Before the Storm stuff that I wasn't a fan of, but her loyalty to Chloe was there. I mean, you could say it was questionable after some things that you learned in Life is Strange 1, but I felt bad for her in the end. So I'm going to put her at A. Next we have Mr. Principal Wells from LIS 1 and Before the Storm. Didn't really enjoy the dude that much. D. Next we have Riley from Life is Strange True Colors. I think she had my back most of the times, and she was a good enough character, so C. Next we have, I don't know who this guy is, but he's from Before the Storm. D. Next we have Rachel Amber's stepmom. See, she's alright. Next we have Ryan from Life is Strange True Colors. Even though I didn't romance this man, I loved everything about him. His character's such a good dude. He's getting put on A tier as well. Next we have Samantha Myers. I don't know much about her, other than that one scene where she's trying to say, "Help! Help! Nathan needs help!" Bruh, I just remembered that. D. Samuel from Life is Strange Before the Storm and Life is Strange 1. Actually, low-key, Samuel's an underrated character. He could be creepy in some instances, but I think he's still decent. C. Sarah Lee. C. Sean Diaz. A legend, in my personal opinion. Definitely a character that deserves to be at the top. S tier. Next we have Mr. Prescott. Rachel's mom. Her dialogue in the final episode was pretty dang good. C. This dude. Skip! Man, if I had to put a list of, best side characters, Joey, Skip, Brody, Cassidy, Mikey. I can keep going on. Next we have Stanley from LIS 2. I'm gonna put him along with his lover at C. Well, I put B actually. Next we've got Steph from Life is Strange Before the Storm and True Colors. I love Steph. Team Steph! S. Next we have Steven from Life is Strange 2. Man was a decent grandpa. B rating. Next we have Taylor from Life is Strange 1. Didn't really like this chick. D. Victoria. She could be real. D. I mean, yes, there's redemption arc to her character, but no. Next we have Warren. Put him at C. I like his action sequences in episode 5, standing up for me, beating up Nathan Prescott. Next we have Miss Chen. C. And lastly we have William from Before the Storm. And he was in 1 as well. This man brought tears to my eyes. And especially based on the Before the Storm stuff alone, he gets B. So, this has been my tier list. We're going to mention characters that weren't referenced here. There's a couple that weren't in this list that I'm going to talk about right now, but there's my S tier, my A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, and my E tier. All right. So some of the honorable mentions I missed that weren't in this list. Nicholas from LIS 2 episode 4. I'd probably put him at D tier. Big Joe, gonna probably put him at D tier. He was from LIS 2 episode 3. Mushroom and Pompidou, both gonna probably be put on the A tier because I love them both. Also, I'd say Valkyrie the Cat, gonna put them at A tier as well. Other than that, I think that's pretty much everyone. I don't know if there's anybody else. Hot Dog Man, we're gonna put him at S. Yeah, Hot Dog Man gets an S. Ingrid and Anders, I'm probably gonna put them both at C or B, depending. I'm gonna put them at C. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to drop a like and subscribe. If you want to see more Life is Strange related content, please be sure to hit that notification bell so you don't miss any videos or streams. And we are doing remastered prep streams. Join us for that. And also, February 1st, don't forget, join the channel. We will be playing Life is Strange Remastered Collection in its entirety. Life is Strange 1 in its entirety, and Life is Strange Before the Storm in its entirety in the remastered 4K graphics. So I want to thank you all so much for watching. Follow my social media down below. Stay connected with us on Life is Strange. And thank you all so much for the support. If you want to see any more tier lists on any games I cover or Life is Strange, comment them down below what you'd like to see. And I'll catch you all later. Peace.